Hi, Daniel here from absolutelifedesign.com, and in this video what I'm going to share with you is some of the lessons that I've learned from this book called Tony Robbins' Money Master the Game. So I got this book about 3 years ago, and I'm going back now to this book because over the last 3 years I've been able to implement some of the lessons that I've learned from the book, and with that I've learned how to create passive income and use that to enable me to get closer to financial freedom. So at the point of making this video, I'm not there yet, but I'm getting closer, and I've been able to do that because of the book and some of the lessons that I learned from the book. So this video is not going to be in a review of the book, it's just going to be extracting the goodness of the book and sharing it with you. Okay. So one of the main concepts I've learned from the book was about passive income and reaching financial freedom. So before, the idea of reaching financial freedom where you didn't have to work for money meant to me that you'd have to have a lot of money, millions of pounds. But what I learned from the book is that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. What you want to do is you need to know what your outgoings are and how much that exact number is, and then your passive income needs to exceed that or reach that. For example, if your outgoings are £3,000 per month, your investments need to be able to bring you in £3,000 per month for you to be financially free. So most of us, what we do is we use something called active income. So we exchange our time for money. So what we want to do is switch that around, start creating or having vehicles which will give us passive income, and then increasing that figure year by year till it reaches the same as your outgoings. But there's another level, that's like financial independence. So another level to that would be when you're if you could get a figure of everything you could ever want, so you calculate everything you'd want, so your dream house, your dream car, how much would that cost, travel, you write down a list of everything, and what you do is you have that figure. Now this is like proper financial freedom where you can have everything you want if you reach this figure. So look at the monthly cost, and then you want your investments to be the same as that. Okay, but to start off with, you want to reach financial independence where you're so you're not dependent on someone else to give you money. So what we do is with active income is we're exchanging our time for money, and we normally have an employer, or if we're self-employed, we have clients, customers who we depend on for an income. But if we can get our investments to the point where they make us enough money to live on, then we're independent. Okay, and then you can go a step further where you reach financial freedom once your investments, your passive income gives you anything you'd want. Okay, so there's like various vehicles, and the book Money Master the Game, Tony Robbins goes into it in some detail of various different vehicles that you can use as investment tools. But yeah, so this video I'm not going to talk about all of that because it's quite a lot. And what he did though is he interviewed 50 of some of the most wealthiest people on the planet. They're these billionaires. Now the idea here is, like, even if you don't want to be a billionaire, and if that's not your ambition, it's worth understanding the skills, the ideas that they have which enabled them to get there. So if you want to improve, like you're running, you don't necessarily want to be as fast as like Mo Farah, but if you learn some of the things that he does and then bring it into your own life, you're surely gonna improve in that area. So when it comes to financial freedom and improving your finances when designing your own life, it's worth looking at these billionaires and seeing what they do, and then using that to your advantage and bringing that into your own life. Okay, so some of the things that So some of the tools that they use, the investment tools, Tony Robbins explains that into great detail in the book. However, what I found out is everybody has their own choice in what they use to invest their own expertise, whether that be stocks or whether that be real estate, whatever it is. But you choose something, and then that produces you is an investment, and that will produce annual yield, and whatever that is going to help your money grow. So one thing people do is save money. The problem with that is with inflation you're going to lose out. So money in the long term, what isn't valuable, so it loses its value over time. So if you're just saving money, you're going to lose money over time. So what you want to do is get you with your money, not just save it, find something where you can invest it. This leads me on to another point from the book, which was really powerful, and it's the understanding the power of compounding. What I found is with compounding, your wealth will grow exponentially. So rather than like in linear fashion where it'll like just go up, like you'll add 2 plus 2 plus 2, it'll double, quadruple, whatever it may be, dependent on how much interest you're getting. Okay, so with compounding, the idea of compounding, you can get closer to reaching financial freedom. Another concept that I found quite useful was cost dollar averaging. So cost dollar averaging is the idea that everything peaks and troughs, and what you do is, what happens with most people when things are getting better, well, let's take a stocks for example, when the stocks are getting better, what they tend to do then is start to buy more of that stock because it's getting better. But what they're doing is buying it at a higher rate. What you want to do is, as the stocks go down, that particular stock goes down, that's the time to invest. When things are low, when they're at rock bottom, that's when you want to invest, because that's when they're cheapest, that's when you're going to get your bargains. And then they're going to pick up again, and then the stocks you've bought are going to be worth more when it picks up again. Okay, and this is one of the reasons why people make a lot of money in recessions, because what they've done is have money aside, set money aside, and then when there's a recession, things go on for sale. Everything's for sale and at a discount. So when other people who were spending money prior to the recession are selling things, because now they need the money, they need the cash, people who have the cash will then buy things and buy investments a lot cheaper, and then when the markets pick up again, then their investments are worth a lot more. Okay, so any other points that I'd like to go over? So another point. So when I was reading the book, I was 23, and one of the things that Tony Robbins talks about in the book is the idea of having risk tolerance. So your risk tolerance. So you want to reach that financial freedom, whatever that may be for you, whatever figure that may be for you, at some point in your life. But the younger you are, the more risk tolerance you have, and the older you are, the less risk tolerance you have, because as you get closer to that time where you want to reach financial independence, you want to start to reduce the risk. So different investments have a different type of risk, and the higher investments tend to, or the investments which can give you higher returns tend to be the most riskiest, and the investments with the lower returns tend to be the least riskiest. So what you want to do is, if you're young, what you can afford to do is invest in more risky investments, which has the potential to give you far greater yield. And as you get older, start to look for more secure investments. So fortunately for myself, I've taken an interest in this part, knowing that finances and getting on top of my finances is going to be one of the ways I'll be able to design the life that I want. So I have a higher risk tolerance than I'm going to have in another 20 years. So what I've done with that is looked for higher risk investment strategies which had the potential to give me better returns, and that's what I've been using. And as I get older, I'll start to transfer that money over into more secure vehicles for investment. Alright, so the last point about this book, the last point that Tony Robbins makes is about the future. So even if you don't get this right, okay, you don't get your money right, there's going to be, the future is getting better, and with technology the future is getting exponentially better. So what we mean by that is everything's getting easier to do. So if you take like travel, it's easier to travel around the world, to the other side of the world, than it was 100 years ago. Medicine, everything's getting a lot better. Also got life expectancy is increasing as well because of new technology, and the kind of technology that everyday person has is even better than, say, the US president had 50 years ago. And that's crazy to think, but the amount of computers are growing at exponential rates, and now we'll have things like artificial intelligence, and all of these things are tools to enrich our lives. And so with that, life for the everyday person, as in like the normal person, for normal people, is getting better than it was, take it, say, 100 years ago. It's getting better, and over time things are going to get even better. So the main takeaway from that is the future is bright. So of course we're trying to, if you're interested in personal development, you're trying to improve your own life, but know that the world is getting better, so especially with technology enriching our lives. But a caveat to that, I'd say, is don't let technology use you. So especially with how fast things are moving in this day and age, it's easy to let technology use you, and people do that. They don't have control of technology. It seems like technology has control over them. So I'd say with that is know exactly what it is you want and how technology is affecting you, either whether it be like addiction of use of it, or implementation of it in a negative way. So we've got to make sure that we use technology but to benefit us. Okay, hopefully this video, it's there's a lot in the book of Tony Robbins, Money Master the Game, but that's like the main like parts of what I've learned over the last 3 years, which has enabled me to improve my finances. So if you found this video useful and found information that you think will be valuable to you, make sure to give a like to the video and hit that subscribe button. Okay, bye.